Sorry for the unusual angle today and lighting, but have my first 100% painted force here. It's my Imperial Guard. Had a few guys left that were Dreamforge minis, actually. These guys and those guys that I'm using either help out in Inquisition squads or as Militarum Tempestus dudes. So needed those painted, but get a small guard force. It's really an addendum to my Inquisition helper. My Inquisition, or a small tiny guard force that I can bring. I think 1,500 without the Tempestus stand-ins. Not really sure what it gets with them because they weren't painted, so I've ever added them to a list. I don't believe, or if I have, it's been a while and don't remember. But yeah, we got everybody decked out. You got Red Squad. You may remember them from some battle reports. Blue Squad is over there with their chimeras. We got another chimera with the command squad in it. Whoop, lighting's going on me. Then we've got my 3 heavy weapons. And those new dudes right there. Those new dudes. And then my 3 tanks that can pretty much be outfitted however. Got plenty of parts in there for stuff. And, just outfit them as I can. I think that's lit. There we go. Pull that stuff. None of that stuff's glued. Just pressure fit, most of it. Just friction fit, yeah. So there is the force doing its forcey thing. Just grabbed it, got it knocked out. And we're going to be working on the next force. Not sure what that's going to be 100%, but I will let you guys know when that happens. And I'm going to reposition the camera now, clear some of the stuff out, and give you guys some news about this last weekend. Alright, see you in a second. So, first we'll start with the shout outs. Want to give some shout outs to some other guys, some channels. Really helped me out with what I was doing this weekend. Number 1 will be to Mr. Idic Beer. In one of his videos, he gave a little idea of how he prepped for his I'll take this out of the way for a second. His tournament and playing his army and all that stuff. And I thought, that's a good idea. So it prompted me to make some note cards for my Skitarii that I was going to bring to the tournament, because they have a ton of rules. I finally got the list to print out a Battle Scribe, mostly Battle Scribe, and it was a 10-page list out of Battle Scribe. 5 of those pages were the special rules section of the Skitarii War Convocation Army. Wow! How are you supposed to remember that, right? But that really helped me, so thank you, Idic Bear. Thank you, that really helped. Number 2 is to Tattoo4U in his finished not perfect for the getting stuff painted, which is also with Idic Beer with his Get It Painted challenge. I threw my Skitarii army in there and I painted them best I could. Sometimes it didn't go exactly like I wanted to, but I just got it done, and had the units painted that I wanted to use. So that was great. Hold on a second. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully the Charlie situation's taken care of. Great. So, Tattoo4U. Thank you. Really helped me keep on the ball, get those miniatures painted. And I had the miniatures painted for the list I wanted to bring, and it really, really, really was great not to have to substitute things and not bring what I really wanted to bring because it just wasn't ready to go. So that was cool. And finally, DZ Saber. His series on basically applying the Art of War, Sun Tzu's Art of War, to the tabletop really helped me kind of solidify some things in my mind that I'm usually doing. And that is what kind of helped me get second place. So I got second place, I got this, and I got this cool bolter thing. It's a pin. It's really cool. And I got this, which is cool. So let's take that off to the side. Okay. Quick thing. What did I take? Skitarii War Convocation. Minimums of all the base units you're supposed to take, except I took one other, or second, Onager Dune Crawler. Both of them were neutron laser dune crawlers. And in the Cult Mechanics aside, I took a Castellan Robot Maniple to fill out my list. The first battle, I was going up against an Eldar force that had a Seer Council, a huge Seer Council. He had like 25 base psychic points. I was like, what? He had a Wraith Knight and 2 other units and one of their little tank flyers that had a big D cannon thing on it, indirect fire, really nasty. What happened is he put the Wraith Knight and 2 of the units on board, and then he took the Seer Council and the tank and put it in reserves. And I wasn't too sure why he did that, and later we were talking, and his meta, he's like always getting hit by the first round alpha strikes by the Space Marines. And so he's kind of trying to prevent that. I didn't have a first round alpha strike, but I did get the Warlord trait Infiltrate. That gives you Infiltrate on the tactical. Allowed me to do the Warlord, 3 other units, and then I already had a unit. So about half my army was within 18 inches of him from the start of the fight. And we moved up and we pretty much fought on his 12 inches of his side of the board. What had happened is the Seer Council didn't come until turn 4, and all his other units that were in reserve, only 1 came in each time. So basically what happened is the first turn I shot pretty much all of his stuff except the Wraith Knight. Second turn, shot all his stuff off, but he had second go, so he rolled for reserves, and I'll be right back. Sorry about the interruptions. It's frustrating me now. And breathe. Anyway, so he would come in. Turn 2 also. Turn 2 or top of turn 3, I destroyed the Wraith Knight. Then the tank came in by itself. Ended up destroying that. He did do some damage with each of those. Then the Seer Council came in. We were running out of time. It was the last turn. Seer Council came in. He shot up some of my units, a lot of psychic craziness, and then he ran and grabbed one of the objectives with his super fastness. And that ended up where he got the primary. I won secondary Maelstrom by a long shot on those, so it ended up I won by a point or 2 because of the tertiaries. So that was a tough fight, and I could have done a little bit better putting my units in certain places to avoid that last turn blowout of all the jet bikes that allowed him to take the primary. And I could have held primary, and I could have done greater, but I did pretty good. And what I did is I used my cards, my Doctrines and my Canticles, to turn myself into a shooting army for as long as I could. A super shooting army. And I just shot and shot and shot at the Eldar, shot them off the table. And that worked. So turn to the game 2, facing Space Wolves. I'm not sure the formation he had, but he had 6 drop pods, all came down at the same time in his turn 1. So I went first. He had a Thunderwolf Cavalry, an Imperial Knight, a Scout, and 2 Assault units on the board. I put most of my stuff in my deployment zone, some up kind of near the middle because it was a relic, and we had to get the relic. My Knight went in there, shot at his Knight, did some damage. His Knight charged in at mine, and they locked in combat for a little while. My Ford Rust Stalkers shot the Thunderwolf cavalry to pieces. And some of my other units up front, Rangers and stuff, shot some of the Assault Marines. They basically got shot up before they could get to me. And the scouts got shot and killed by neutron lasers from my Onager Doomwalkers. He blew up my knight, and then when his drop pods came down, I realized, okay, Space Wolf power, he wants to get in close combat. So I used Litany of the Electromancer and all my close combat skills, and those 3 shots, because I had more than 8 units, 3 automatic hits per each of my guys that were in combat with him. I just charged into combat with him. I didn't wait for him to get into combat with me. I charged into combat with him. You know, use my strength versus his weakness. For 2 turns, I could be super strong in melee, and so I just went for it. And just devastated, and not because of my guys, but because of those free hits from the Litany of the Electromancer. By the time we were done, his knight had grabbed the relic and ran off with it. Nothing I could do there. I tried to shoot it, but couldn't get it. I had won these secondaries and the tertiaries again. So once again, loss of the primary because of something. I just couldn't get any units there before the knight could get it, and I couldn't get any units onto that because I had so many. I had like 60 some odd Marines that I had to deal with, just out of the drop pods, not to mention the other guys. But it ended up, he had like 15 Marines left and the knight. And that was it. So I slayed a lot of stuff, and basically I won that game by a point. I think that was by a point. So 2 wins by 1 or 2 points. Doing okay. Come to the 3rd game, facing Dan. Dan actually was playing, and he had that Death Star with the Gorgon's chain and the Apothecary. He's got 2 up rerollable saves. He's got the 3 flyer formation with the Storm Raven and the 2 baby birds. He had some Devastators and 2 drop pods with TAC Marines in them, and they had Meltas and combi Meltas and all that craziness. So first turn, I win again on the initiative. I've been using Shroud Psalm to kind of keep the damage low for the first turn. This time, I just went for it. Straight up, +3 ballistic skill, and the canonical for re-rolling all misses. I just went for it. Had everything pretty much in range of his Death Star, and I just lit it up. And the reason I did that is because he had his Warlord out in front of the Death Star, and I thought, if I take the Warlord out, it's going to throw him. It's going to throw his strategy. It's going to throw him. He's going to be like, whoa, what's going on? Sun Tzu, right? DC Saber, Sun Tzu. Affect that enemy, his mental state. And you won't believe it. Turn 1, I shot the Warlord off the table. Turn 1, killed him. Some bad rolls. Dan took too many risks on the Warlord. That 2-up save, 2-up feel no pain. He failed a few lookout sirs when he was getting hurt, and then he got shot down. Well, I got to deal with something again, so I'll be right back again. And I'm back. Wife needed to borrow something. I heard her coming, so stopped. Where was it? Oh yeah, shot the Warlord off. Dan had just put too much faith in that 2-up, 2-up. 2-up, 2-up. Too much faith in it, and I got through it. Had some shots left off. I caused the Devastator squad to go to ground, and that's all he really had on the table at that point. He had 2 rhinos with tac squads over in the corner, but I just kind of pot-shotted at him with the Sidonian Dragoon that I had. And I had the unit of Rangers was over there too. But I just kind of moved them out, took a plasma hit, did a glance, I think. Nothing too big. Got 1 out of my 2 objectives when turn came down to me next. Dan had dropped some drop pods on an objective, and his objective secured overrode me. So That turn, I focused everything I could on the two Razorbacks. They're actually Razorbacks, not Rhino. Popped one, and then the other one got stunned, so it couldn't really reposition good. When the guys came out, charged the Sidonian Dragoon into there, popped the Electromancer feat again because I charged two other units into his Death Star. Those hits didn't affect the Death Star. They saved all those saves. 25, 30 of them. They saved them all. But my regular guys did do some wounds in there and took a couple guys out. Chipped it up a little bit. Then totally destroyed the other Space Marine unit. Just wiped him out with the Sidonian Dragon alone. It was crazy. Then next turn comes around. My Vanguard retreat onto an objective that I needed. They got a few casualties, but they survived that and held that. Lit up the Devastator squad with the Knight. Eliminated all but one guy. Lit up one of his other attack squads that came in the drop pod. Eliminated all but one guy. And destroyed the other attack squad. Left a Librarian out in the open, which I took out the turn after that. Have now crushed his psychic ability. His Death Star is locked in combat. His Razorbacks are destroyed. He's got one unit over there, which the next turn I charge, take that out. And by reusing the litany of the Electromancer, because I can reuse one canonical, so reuse that one again. Baby birds come in, zip off my infiltrators, destroy them off an objective, put some other wounds on some of my other guys. So I turn around, pot shot at them a little bit with a Knight, but not too much because they're going in the wrong direction. Put all my focus into the Death Star, kill it absolutely. Run my Rust Stalkers over to get the last Devastator guy. Turn the Knight around, blow off the last Attack Marine, and start heading to an objective over there. The Sidonian Dragon has been destroyed by a pot shot from the Devastator guy. So the Rangers that are over there start coming back to the center. His birds take out the Rangers the next turn and then try to make a curve, but I've caused them to jink because of the Knight and some other stuff I shot at them. He takes out one of the Doom Crawlers as well. At this point, I basically just have, he's got one Devastator and 3 birds left, and he knows I'm just going to blast him the next turn. It's turn 3 or 4. We've got an hour left to play. I'm way ahead on Maelstrom because he's lost any ability to gain objectives because he doesn't have any troops left on the ground. I have the primary. I've had the Warlord kill. I have Linebreaker. I've got all 3 tertiaries locked up at this point. And so Dan seated because it was just, the next turn or so I would shoot the birds out of the air and then that would be it. So, yeah. That was a full win. Got full points for that and ended up coming in second place. It was pretty cool by 3 points. By 3 points. If I would have made better decisions in my other games, I might have pulled it out for the win-win. But, man, the last time I played, I was last place and this time second place. Some changes. Some great things. And just keeping my rules in mind. Those note cards, thank you, Edict Beer. Getting my units painted and bringing the units I wanted to bring, thank you, Tattoo for You. And really kind of changing how I played depending on what my opponent was bringing to the table. And thank you, Sun Tzu and DZ Saber. Appreciate that. You guys really helped me in the tournament this weekend, and I had a lot of fun. It was great. It was a great time. So if you guys haven't watched any of those channels or any of their video series, I say get over there. Go watch them. Look down, find them, and watch some of those videos. I'm sure they will help you out too as far as getting on the tabletop and doing that stuff. When next I do a video, I'm going to lay out a little bit more of what I'm doing with the plan on doing in January. I'm going to do the buildings. Going to do the Imperial Sector buildings first, and I'll show you some of those and all that. More painting stuff. I'm going to save that bird for later. I'm not even sure what army or force it's going to go with. But it's just another model I got to paint now. And we will be doing some sharing the hobby videos with LT on painting the orcs. I suggested we paint them all pink. He said no. He said we should go with green and red for the vehicles because red goes faster. So that's probably the plan. Alright guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and it wasn't too boring for you. If you liked it, the thumbs up, the comments, the sharing, that's all helps, and YouTube makes us have to constantly do that because they don't help us. If you want to know when I post a video, click the little bell icon right there by the button that said you subscribed, and it'll let you get updates on your phones and other mobile devices, as they say. Alrighty guys, appreciate your time with me. Let's go out and have some more fun. I will talk to you later.